All right, world. Been a long time coming. Finally got pure greatness in the house tonight. I got Young Dizzy, Sacramento artist. I won't even say like born and raised because that don't really count for you getting out of bounds and doing what you had to do.
Exactly.
So we won't say born and raised. Now, some of you may look and see that we look like we finna be train robbers. But in order for you to help a cause, you have to follow the rules of the cause. And I've been guilty of not wearing masks on my show because I knew everybody was coming through was healthy. But you never really know because everybody can be asymptomatic, the whole shit. But recently I've known some people who were close to me who caught the shit, so I can't really complain and get at people if I'm not doing the same thing, following the rules, because I'm mad that, we're on restriction again, and I lost out all this money on entertainment because there's no clubs, no concerts. Artists that I'm working with, they can't go out and do shows. So I'm wearing a mask. Please do the same. Within a certain radius of somebody, please make sure you're wearing your mask. You're 6 feet away, don't worry about it, but wash your hands. I don't know why I gotta tell people to wash their hands. I don't know how that got to be a new thing. A lot of these motherfuckers who I've been shaking hands with and giving dabs to, I'm kind of icky because I'm trying to figure out what you've been doing with your hands. But, just letting you know that's why we got our mask on, because we're making a real statement. Dizzy said that he would agree to it because he feels that a statement needs to be done. I'm very protective over my mama. I know he's protective over his mother.
Exactly.
So getting sick is really not an option for us.
Exactly.
So if I ever say you need to back the fuck up, please, please, please back the fuck up, because it's not just a situation for me. It's a situation for my mama and those who know me. I don't play with my mama. Just let it be known. It will be a real problem. That being said, this is the Spotlight on Hype-Radio.com. I am the man behind the mask. I am Shadow. This gentleman to my left is Young Dizzy. Bruh, thank you for coming on the show.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, because I've known you for a while, Dizzy.
Yeah, we go back many moons.
We go further back than that, because I done had your pops
I know, that's crazy.
touch family members.
That's crazy. I remember you hit me and you said that, and that was crazy. Cause,
It stunned me, because I called my uncle back home in Georgia, and he was like, nephew, is somebody here who says he knows you. Well, Uncle, I'm from there. He said, no, it's somebody else. You know an artist by the name of Young Dizzy? And my first thing was like, Dizzy is in Georgia? The hell? Your pops get on the phone and have a straight conversation with me.
That's crazy.
So I had to like, Dizzy ain't gonna believe this. Diz, what's happening with you, man? Nothing, Shadow. What you been up to? Working? Hey, bro, I just talked to your dad. He was like, huh?
Yeah.
I had a straight conversation with your pops.
That was crazy. I ain't never had that happen. That's crazy. You all the way in Georgia, and then you link with my pops. What's the chances of that even happening? That's crazy.
Slim to none.
Right.
But now, I'm damn near talking to your pops all the time now, bro.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy.
So, Dizzy, let's go ahead and touch in the past, bro. So, here we are in Sacramento. We know it's a very hard market.
Yes, it is.
Let's go even further back. When did you start rapping? What made you want to be an artist?
That's a good point. I mean, I started rapping, I would say, really, I was like 10 years old, but I'm only rapping the songs that's on the radio and trying to recite all the hottest songs.
Okay.
I made my first demo when I was 13. And at that point, I was trash. It's like, it's worse than trash. Whatever's beyond that is what I was at that time. Cause
honesty.
I just wanted to hone my craft. I mean, at school, we used to always battle rap, and I was getting washed. And it's like, when you start going home and you're getting washed in these battles, you start trying to hone your skills, and I just worked at it and worked at it and worked at it, and just tried to develop my style. Because at that time, I couldn't find the style. I was trying to figure out which way I was going to go. I was trying to find my voice, trying to find which works best for me. And then as I started working on it, each day I started getting a little bit better. And then at some point I felt like I got probably worse. And then it just started coming and coming. And then at 18 is when I think things started to click a little bit. And I had a lot of support from my friends because I don't know how they listened to some of that stuff back in the day. It was so whack. But yeah, and then from that, I think at 20 is when I had my first situation with a local label that put me on and got me in the studio so I could make my first full studio length album. And it was a big opportunity because they was putting money into it and making everything work. And
That's when I actually met you.
right, and that was, like I said, many moons ago.
It had to
Yeah,
be
it was
like 2000.
2005,
5, 6?
Yeah, 2005, 6. Yeah, you're right.
Because I remember you actually came into Club Azucar, one of the best clubs that Sacramento's ever seen. Shout out Big
Facts.
Al.
That's big facts.
You had the video shoot in the club.
Yes. Now that came a little later. Okay, so let's kind of go back.
Go ahead, take us back, bro.
I did my first project was called Juice. That was back in 2005.
Okay.
I had a situation with a label, and it was one of the flyest studios I had ever been in my life. And at that time, we cut a nice deal. The owner, he believed in the movement, and he just wanted to put an album out on me. He funded everything and gave me just one of the best opportunities in my life. We came out with the album. It went double cans. You know, nobody was checking for it.
Double
but
cans, bro.
Double cans. It was in, but it did bring everyone together.
Okay.
And we started trying to push that around and work that in the streets. And we were confident about it. We were trying to, perform everywhere. And I had my crew, and everybody was with me. And at that time, just even at that age back then, I was always trying to get myself on, but my main focus was putting everybody else on around me. Because it was like, I was always the one that was like, okay, I could be the front man for right now, but I'm planning on just falling to the background in a minute, and just putting everybody in place so that everybody can eat and everyone can have their shine.
Okay.
And as we kept moving and kept things going, I performed at all the different spots in Sacramento. Every hole in the wall you could think of, I was there. It didn't matter as long as I had some stage time. And that's before I met. Let me take it back. Right around that time, I met Tory D, which some people know as Tayanis. He was Tory D on my G5 single. That's the single you talking about.
Yep.
So we were performing around the city, performing my album Juice. At that time, we went to the Silk, I think it was Silk.
Silk on Del Paso?
Silk 2. We was performing in
Either
Silk 2.
Del Paso or on Bradshaw?
Bradshaw. It was in Bradshaw,
That was
yeah.
Silk 2.
Silk 2. At that time, we ran into, this is when my life changed, I'm gonna tell you. I ran into this cat that was in there, and it was crazy, because we saw him in there. He had a shirt on that said Cal-E. It was his MySpace shirt. That's how long ago it was. It was MySpace.com/Cal-E. And he had all these girls around that was wearing the shirts. And I said, well, I know who I am, but who is that? Because
Right.
he got everybody over there with him.
Right.
And we performed and did everything. And I remember he came up to me and he gave me a CD. So I got in the car, we left, got in the car, I put the CD in the deck, and I'm listening to it. And at this time, this is when auto-tune first started. When it came back around and people was using it, and I think that I hadn't heard nobody else in Sac on auto-tune. And when I heard him using the auto-tune, I said, whoa, he got the auto-tune, he got that T-Pain. That's all I could refer it to.
Shout out to T-Pain, because really you're the only one who should ever be using auto-tune. But go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. But I heard it in the mix on the project was so fly. It was one of the best mixes I heard. And then I put my CD back in and was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to sound like.
Okay.
So now I understand why I went double cans. Because I'm like, I hear what this
I'm
sound
so
like, and I hear
still
what
in
this
there,
sound
bro.
like. You know, and I'm just keeping it 100. So it's like I look on the CD, and the same guy that had the MySpace /Cal-E, his phone number was on there. I said, oh, I'm hitting him. Got on the phone, we chop it up. I'm like, yo, heard your CD, it's crazy, I'm loving it. He tell me he got a studio. I'm like, okay, you got a studio, I got a situation over here. I remember at that time I gave him my CD. I asked him how it was. It was like crickets on the phone. I couldn't hear nothing else. It was just crickets. So I'm like, okay. He's like, I got a studio. I could have you sounding right. So I'm like, you know, I'm thinking I think I'm great at the time.
Of course.
Until I heard what he had, you know, and I'm like, okay. You know, I had to put the ego aside and all that, and I'm like, okay, let me see what he's talking about. So he says, come to my studio. We go to his studio, we meet up with him. And the crazy thing is, before we even walk through the door, all you hear is boom, boom, boom. I said, what is that? He opened the door. I'm talking about the whole place is shaking because he's slapping so hard in there.
Those are the best studios.
And had some of the best sounding music I ever heard. And from there, we had a session that day, and I created one of the best records, and I sounded the best that I had ever heard myself. Because for my style is a little bit different than most people's style. Most rappers, and as you hear me talk, I talk in my chest voice, like most people do. When I rap, I'm like singers, but I rap in my head voice. So I lift my palate and I rap in my head voice. Most rappers you hear, they rap in their chest voice, or they'll develop a certain sound that they have from their throat, but I'm rapping in my head voice. He understood that. Most engineers I was around, they didn't know how to work with that, and they didn't know how to mix that, but he understood that. And he knew how to coach me along and taught me how to use my voice. So I could go from head voice, I could start, I talk like this, but I could go, let me think of something, young back, but I didn't cut the name. After them to fuck with the game no more. Niggas don't act the same no more. The comedy and I ain't with them jokes. Watch a nigga flame it out. Bruce Jenner. All you niggas changing up. Well, I'm getting buck. I'm getting $0. I throw tips on a nigga like some chucks. So something like that. You know what I mean? Just to give you something. But I can elevate. I can go back down. I can do whatever. He taught me how to work with that. He taught me how to throw in my head voice. So like if I say A, I might go A, or I'll go A, A, and I'm down in the chest voice. So he taught me how to incorporate that, and then he started mixing it in, making it work so fly. But it would give my music a lot of color. And then he taught me the right beats to go on, because I started using my voice as the instrument, which made it a lot easier for a lot of producers, because they might just hear an acapella of me and already know where to go based on what I'm doing with the patterns and the way that I'm flowing. But from there, at that studio, that's when we created G5. And that's when I came back around and I met you, because we wanted to shoot a video for that. That was my very first single at the time. It really started out, and most people don't know this, Tory D, who's also Tayanis, he's Tayanis now. Back then his name was Tory D. It was originally his song. Then it turned out, after he did the hook, he didn't have his verses for it. So when I heard it, I'm like, I need that. I go in, I lay my verses, song comes out crazy. Another crazy thing is, at that time, I was working with Kid Mossy. If you listen to the first verse, I shout Kid out in the first verse of that song. Most people don't know that.
Shout out to Kid Mossy, my little brother, Alamo Magazine.
So I mean, it all
that's where it kicked in. Okay.
Yeah, it all comes back around. So I say on there, like I said, Kid said I'm the future, so what I say is relevant. My pockets like funeral homes full of dead presidents. So it's like, that's when, we started messing with Kid. And you know what? I don't even mean to make this weird. My engineer, I brought him here with me. His name is Callie. He right here by my side. Let me just have him slide on real quick, just so y'all can see
where greatness is.
Who took part of this? Because it's not just me. This is a team movement.
When you see this man, respect this man. Now he's gonna have a little mask on.
Still got my mask on.
It's what it is. But good to have you here, bro. Like,
yes, sir.
You basically was the molder of clay.
Yeah, per se. Let's just keep it 100. When he brought me that first CD.
What was your thought, bro? Honestly, we'll pretend he's not. See, Busy stepped out of the room right now.
I'm going.
He ain't here right now. So what was your take on that first album he gave you?
So when he gave me
Wow.
I don't even
Just
want.
go ahead, man. Go
I mean,
ahead.
we gonna be cool. With
We cool. We gonna be
Okay.
good.
You gotta ask him, you
All
gonna
right,
be cool.
'cause you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
When he gave me that first CD, I listened to it, and I honestly, because like he said, how he raps in his palette is higher.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know where he was at on the songs because I only heard him in his chest voice. So I was like, well, where were you at? And when he told me that was me, I was just like, oh. And I said, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That the mix. I mean, I know you said you went to a great studio and all that, but bro, I can do something way better for your mix if you want to just link up. And that's just pretty much what we did, and we've really been rocking ever since.
That's facts.
That's what's
Everything you've heard, every song you've heard from me, this man right here has mixed it. Every song. And that's crazy because most people, they got engineers all over the place. I've recorded everywhere, and one of my stipulations is I got to send it to my engineer. That's my
Okay.
stipulation because that's part of my sound. He knows what to do with my voice. He knows where to go. Even with the features that I've had, all the songs, and everything that we've had throughout the years, it's got to go through him.
Yeah, and that's solid because I mean, you know how some people they might get into
bro,
a
they got
situation.
everybody here and there scattered everywhere, whatever.
Yeah,
the
but like
situation is.
you also got those, they'll get into a situation and then they want to move forward, and the people who help them get there, they're not even looking out for it.
That's part of the
You know what I'm saying?
problem.
But like, I mean, I'll keep it 100. Like, sometimes he'll be like, look, man, I'm trying to get you some money. So this is what we got to do, and then it's gonna pan out. And then next thing you know, some money end up in my pocket, and I'm happy. So
Ain't nothing happy about it.
you know what I'm
There it
saying?
is. So
Yeah.
Dizzy just letting y'all know, and County just co-signed that shit. Loyalty, you motherfuckers.
Loyalty.
So, but yeah, that's part of the story. That's part of it. But G5 is what really kicked everything off.
Okay. That was kind of a smash for you though, bro.
It was, and really, and I I'm not saying it like in an egotistical type of way or anything like that. But it was big for the city because it brought everyone together. And when we shot that video, I don't think that Sacramento had ever seen a video quite like that at that time.
No,
I mean,
because you rolled up in a Lambo.
Right.
See, I remember the whole thing. Lambo, first person I know to actually rent out the club for the video. Well, not even rent out.
Right.
You was gifted the club.
Yeah, Al was. Shout out to Al. Al.
I think we even used his Lambo.
Right. We used one of Al's Lambos. There was another Lambo we had in
The
there.
burgundy
too.
one.
Yes, exactly.
I
And
remember
then,
that shit.
We had a plane in there. It was
Actual
crazy.
G5.
Yeah, exactly. And shout out to Matt Thompson, a good friend of mine. The crazy thing about him is I met him through another friend, and he shot movies and things like that. And he said, I've never shot a music video, but I want to shoot a music video. I had never seen any of his work. He just said, trust me, I got you. We get with him. I tell him what I want. He's like, what do you want? And he's like, go as big as you want. So I said, okay, I want a plane. I want Lamborghinis. I want this. I want that. And it all happened. And that was a mixture of Kid at the time. Then after that, many people may know, Jules came around. Jay Jules. That's when Jay Jules came around.
Shout out Jay Jules.
That's my brother. So he came around, and he helped facilitate that, and him and Matt pushed that and put that together. And I told him everything I wanted, and they put that video together. I showed up on set. It was crazy, and we created a big moment in Sacramento with that. And from there, it spun into so many other things and gave me so much other opportunities. And in a way, it kind of spoiled me because most people, that's not their first video. Most people, you got to start out
Got a
a
hood
little
video.
more humbler. You know what I'm
Got a
saying?
hood video. Keep it real.
Right, yeah, exactly. And no, not to put that down or anything, but I was kind of spoiled, and I had the opportunity to have that as my very first video.
Right.
So it did help with my trajectory, and it did get us a lot of situations and things of that nature. And then from there, we just kept moving and moving, and I dropped a project at that time called CPR later on, and I dropped a few mixtapes as well. Then we really started getting the label attention, and
Now, with that being said, I remember after G5, you know the next one. Next thing I know, hey, brother, did you hear? Dizzy got signed to a label.
okay, so let me really.
I asked you if it's some shit you didn't want to talk about, bro.
No, it's good.
I put it there.
Let me reel it back. Okay. So, G5 did get me signed to a label. I did get a single deal with a label. I'd rather not say the name of the label because
You see the look on my face,
yeah,
right?
it wasn't.
You'll see this, right?
They didn't do what they were supposed to do. But I did get a situation, and I am thankful that they did offer some things, and they did try.
And it was under a big name person.
Right.
I know who it was.
So that
But
it
we
was
gonna
a
leave
good,
that there.
yeah. It was, you know, it was what it was. After that, my second single was called "Got That."
Mm-hmm.
I did that with Young LA. I'm not sure if some of you remember, but he had that song "Ain't I," and he was with Grand Hustle at the time. The crazy story about that, and this goes back to you and Al. The crazy thing, a lot of people don't know this story. Young LA came to Sacramento to do a show. Al booked him to come do this show. At the time, Jules picked him up. This is what is good about having a manager that's incorporated in a lot of other things. Jules picked him up from the airport. So he's with his manager.
In the white Denali.
Exactly.
I'm already knowing.
So Jules pull up in the white Denali, and he picks up Young LA and his manager at the time, Mike Lace, my brother Mike Lace. And Jules, of course, him being my manager, pops in my CD, and they rolling,
Slick ass.
listening to my music. So Young LA is in the car like, hey, who is this? I need to know what's hot in the city, this and that. And Jules is like, you listening to it right now. So before they even go to the club, Jules pulls a left. They come to the studio.
Shout out Jay Jules. I see you on there, player.
So they come to the studio. Look, Jules is one of the coldest salesmen, closers I've ever seen in my life. He's so player with it.
Off the rip.
Brought him in, and of course it was Cali Studio. So Cali's there. He's already ready.
Of course.
So the same guy who produced G5, which he goes by the name of DJ Iltech. Me and him, we go back since high school. It's like that's my little bro. He was there as well, and to Got That record, he started playing just through his beats, and Young LA was like, this one's cool, this one's cool, this one's cool. But he didn't really hear something that caught his ear. He played the Got That beat. He was like, that's it right there. He was like, Diz, you want to do something? From that moment, we just jumped on the song right there and recorded that song before he even came to do the show that night.
Because I remember the motherfucker was late to the show.
That's why he was late to the show. See,
I
people didn't know
never
that
knew
story.
why. Because you know me, I was hot. I'm like, I'm in this vest, this suit. We supposed to be here an hour ago.
It's crazy.
This motherfucker ain't that big of an artist. You know me, I'm talking crazy.
Exactly.
Come to find out he in the studio with you, couldn't.
Exactly. And you know, I'm gonna tell you
Ain't that a
something.
bitch? Jay Jules, when I see you, was on and popping for that, bro.
I'm gonna tell y'all this. That's the cheat code for all artists out here.
Pay attention.
That's one of the cheat codes. Jules found a cheat code, so Jules will pick the artist up. And this happened many times. In all of my career, I've had several features. I've never paid for a feature my entire life. Most people could not say that. And it's not that I'm any better than anybody else, but the thing was, the way I've always looked at it is I rap. So I'm not gonna really, and I don't mind paying somebody, but I'm not gonna pay someone who do the same thing as me. If I'm gonna pay somebody, I need to get a singer or somebody who gonna do something different than what I do.
Right, I see the science in that.
So, but at the same time, with the record is gonna do something. You're gonna get paid publishing. You're gonna always make some money. So the thing was, a lot of the artists, we built a relationship. And I tell a lot of artists, build a relationship, because it don't matter if you pay someone $10,000, $50,000, whatever. If the relationship is not there, that's where that record is gonna die. Because you're gonna need them to help push that record or slide it to certain people. Or if you go to their city, you need them to bring you out to perform and this and that. If you just pay somebody some money and you don't have no relationship, that's where it ends. And now you're gonna have to try to figure out how to build a relationship after giving them the money and paying them this and doing all that. It does work out. I'm not saying it doesn't work for people, but it's very, very hard to make that situation work.
So for you up and coming and already legends and vets in this game, Young Dizzy just fed you a jewel. You motherfuckers need to swallow it whole and apply it.
But you know, I shout out to Young LA because he heard something early on and jumped on that. And that record, actually 103 started playing that record, and this is crazy. One of the people that helped that record pop was Mofo at 103. Shout out to Mofo.
Shout out Mofo.
A lot of people don't know that. Jules put that into play, him and Mofo. And also Shorty was involved in that too. I
Shout
remember
out
that.
Shorty. It was just his birthday. Happy belated to you, bro.
Exactly. So when that came about, that actually helped us get some things popping. And then me and LA did the Ain't I Futuristic tour. So LA went home. We started getting the record rotating around in the city. We brought him back out here, and then we did shows all throughout Northern California and did a quick little tour run. And that really got a lot of notoriety to my name at the time for that. Because he let me piggyback off of that, and I was just out there with him doing all the different shows with him. And that helped that record go. And then while he was out here doing that, we flipped around and shot the video for that as well. So that's how they got that video. If y'all haven't seen it, go on YouTube. They got that videos on there.
Sacramento's one of your own. Get on YouTube, run his numbers up.
Yeah, so that happened. Man, this is crazy because this is years that I can go back. But from there, I got to it and just started working on more work, just working on more projects and trying to put things together. I had another situation that was presented to me, and a couple different label situations that were presented to me, and I wasn't really feeling it. But that situation did get us a good look, and we went down and we met with Interscope. That was cool. Shout out to Terrence Nelson. He had us, going in the Interscope office. I really felt like a big dog, at the time, and we were trying to work that angle. It just we couldn't really get that all the way off the ground. And I kept working. Later on, I got another situation that I was working, and then I had worked on a record called Transformers. Is that right when Transformers came? Yeah, so Transformers. It was featuring I Am Cam, who's also on Got That. So if you look at my career, you're going to see a lot of the same people around me. Just so y'all know, like I try to keep, if I find someone that can fly hooks and that's my bro, I'm gonna shoot it to him first and be like, can you lay something on this? It don't matter who I got, what big artists I got featured on, it doesn't matter. I just want to make sure that my family is all eating and everybody getting their pub and everything like that.
Right. Keep it solid. So
Cam hopped on that, and I had one of my LA homies. Connect me and connect me with Corrupt at the time.
Shout out to Corrupt. Still got bars.
Yeah, he do. Corrupt was crazy. So it's Corrupt, myself, and Reezy. And rest in peace to my homie Reezy. Unfortunately, we just lost him at the end of last year.
Rest in heaven, bro.
But and he's on the third verse of that. But Corrupt got on that record and did his thing on that record. All of this again mixed by Cali. After that, we took a trip to LA and we shot the video with Corrupt, which was big for me because it's like I grew up listening to Corrupt, and for him to hear me and say, I like what homie doing, I'm gonna jump on it. Like that's crazy. When he hear the record,
you feeling some kind of way.
It did, and he showed love. It's like, and then my family was there, my cousins were there, my mama was there. Like Corrupt was taking pictures and hugging my mama. You know what I mean? Like that's big, and he didn't have to do that.
Right.
He just came out and showed love, and we shot the video. And I was trying to set up a video shoot from way out here, all the way in LA, and I don't know how it came together, but we made it come together. And that was shot by Jay Synth. Shout out to my bro Jay Synth. Jay
Synth's a monster right now. Y'all better come with your pocketbook to fuck with Synth now.
One of the hardest working, and Synth, I always liked the way he moved. I remember back in the Got That days, that's when he was doing beats. So for people who don't know, he was doing beats back then, and he had just started getting into the video. And then from there, he had hollered at me, and I forgot how it came about, but we was talking, and I told him, before. I said, I'm gonna get a video in with you, bro. Like that's the Sacktown homies. So I'm gonna get a video in with you. I was over here shooting videos with my other homies right now because Matt Thompson also got that video. But I did want to get one in with Sin. So I said, this is the opportunity I got. I got Corrupt.
Go ahead, I'm listening to you, man.
So at that time, I got with him and we went down to LA and we just shot the video
Okay.
and made it happen.
That was pretty easy, I guess.
It sounded pretty easy, but it wasn't because it's trying to set up a video from Sacramento in LA. It was crazy.
I remember seeing you move around. I was talking to Jules a lot, and I was following your little career. Well, I won't say little. Let me not insult you. I was following your career, and Jules was always telling me like, yeah, "We doing this, we doing that. Shout out, you need to come fuck with us."
That's Jules.
I'm like, man, I'm here, Jules, and you ain't trying to pay me, so I already know what you're doing, bro. But
That's Jules, yeah.
that's Jules. So we'd had all these deals.
Mm-hmm.
We'd had all these singles and albums, and we got the great producer.
Mm-hmm.
You fell off the planet for a while.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring you up to speed. I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened with that, and this is where the story starts getting interesting.
I like that.
So from there, I kept making records. Whistle was made before that, right? Before okay, well, before that I was working on a Sacktown was before that. I worked on my project called Sacktown. That was the last project I really put out before I decided to take what you may call like a hiatus. I did Sacktown and I did my song Whistle on there, and also that's when the Booty on the Sink record came out.
Shout out Booty on the Sink, cause that motherfucking social media.
That was crazy.
Woo!
And for people who don't know, shout out to Ted Digital and shout out to Clyde Carson. Okay, so for people who don't know, if you go look at the Booty on the Sink video, that song, I did that song. It started out as a joke. We in the studio, we just playing. We start talking about. I forgot. I think I was on the gram or something. And Shorty was on there, and she propped it up on the sink. So I'm talking to all the homies in there. I'm like, these girls be taking these pictures with their booty on the sink. And I'm like, she making it look fat. I don't know if it's fat or if she making it look that way. And Ted looks over at me and says, bruh, I got one. I said, huh? What you got? He plays me this hook. Beat already done. Hook. He already laid. Talking about booty on the sink. I
It was meant to be.
"Bruh, that Cali was right there. And we sitting there, and it was like, we looked at each other, we knew, yeah. You know when you get that feeling, you already know it's a hit before you even create the hit. Like, I didn't even lay my verses yet. So I go in, lay the verses, do everything. We shoot the video. The video only has myself and Ted in it. We shoot the song, I did all the verses, and wrote the bridge. Then from there, that video was out for about a year. It started rotating around in the clubs, and it started getting hot in the streets. I don't know where things changed, but my career started going to a weird place. I was starting to lose myself in a sense. I was trying to figure out what I was trying to do. So I just said, you know what, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. God, if this is for me, then it's for me. If it's not for me, it's not for me. I just let it go. All of a sudden, I don't know how that record starts getting that much traction and makes its way to 103. Then I find out DJ S1 starts
out
hearing the
Lil Bruh.
record. So S and Weezy starts hearing the record, and he starts supporting the record. He starts sliding it in, showing people the record. One of the first people that heard the record and believed in the record was Jay Mars.
Shout out Jay Mars.
I owe Jay Mars so much. Between Jay Mars, DJ S1, and Tosh, them brothers right there, they saw the vision before anyone. Now, those three were the ones that said, you know what, Diz? We like what you got going here. We think you should change it up just a little bit. Maybe get someone from the Bay on it. I said, who should we do? We said a couple different names. Someone said Clyde Carson. I said, man, I always liked Clyde.
Shout out my bro Clyde.
So, Jules does what Jules does.
Of course.
Clyde get the record. Clyde digging the record. I just get the record back. Clyde verse on it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm still not tripping because I'm like, I don't know what I'm feeling about the music at this time. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm just leaning back. Next thing I know, the record started catching me. Radio started playing the record. It's still kind of a different feeling to me because I don't know if everyone know, in Sacramento you do hear people's songs play, but you might hear a couple, maybe 5 spins here, 10 spins there, something like that. It's nothing major.
Dizzy, that song was on steady rotation, bro.
Exactly. The crazy part is the song just started taking off, and I didn't know anything about what do they call it? The stats or the spins, and I didn't know about all that. I just make records, so I'm like, Tosh is schooling me the data. That's what they used to say.
Okay.
We're doing data on it. We're trying to see how the record's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't know. They started saying, this record is doing good. At
Diz, you were getting about 35 spins a week, bro.
Exactly. It was.
See,
it
I
was
do
cooking.
my homework from
It
the
was-
street shit too,
It was
man.
cooking. It was cooking, and then I remember from there, Jay Mars sent the record to a couple people. I sent the record out. We started making sure it was in all the DJ pools. Shorty from 102 gets the record. Shorty says, "This record is starting to do some real research. You the data's looking good on this." 102 started spinning the record. It was crazy because a lot of artists in this city, in Sacramento, you don't usually see 102 and 103 simultaneously playing a record.
Right.
Record started catching there. And then at that time, I remember I was in Tosh's office, and I know I'm saying a lot, but I'm trying to get it so that all these artists out here understand this.
It's your show,
Tosh-
bro.
Tosh told me one of the realest things. He said, "Diz, I'm gonna teach you what you need to do in this game." He sat me down, and Tosh, I love you, my brother. You long-winded. Maybe that's why I'm so long-winded
Woo!
now, because he sat us down in his office. It was me and Jules, and Tosh said, "Diz, it's the little things that matter." He said, "For every time you send a record and everything you send out, or anyone that spins your record or anything, handwrite a thank you card and send it out. Handwritten, and you sign it." He shows me a card. He says, "What's the name on this card right here?" And I look at the card. It say Taylor Swift on it. He's like, "You see this right here? Taylor Swift hand wrote this card, and she signed it." Now, who knows if it was Taylor Swift that really wrote it, but it appears to be a Taylor Swift. So whether it's her team or anybody or her, that's what it says. So he says, why aren't you doing that? He's like, in the country world, they do this for all
Yep.
the artists do this.
That's how
He's
Tosh
trying to
got
teach
me on
us
the country.
exactly what to do in the rap world. And I said, okay. So I started doing that. The record started picking up in different places. The next thing we get a call, I'm on Twitter at one day. We didn't even get a call. I was on Twitter, and I'm going through Twitter, and all of a sudden I keep hit with all these tweets. "Booty on the Sink" by Young Dizzy, KMEL. Shout out Big Von. Next thing you know, I'm like,
It's real.
I'm like, KMEL, like, because as a kid, you get played on KMEL, you might as well, that's it. When you put 102, 103, KMEL together, it's like,
You at the top of the mountain.
yeah, Northern Cali, you kind of got it popping in Northern Cal, so the record really just started doing a lot for me.
Okay.
From there is when I did my song Whistle. And then another deal came to me. I did a licensing deal right around that time, where I signed a licensing deal, and I'm kind of going into this because I make the most money in music off that licensing deal, and I suggest all artists to do that. When you watch Netflix, Hulu, all these different things, all them songs that play in them TV shows, on these streaming platforms, you get paid every time them shows is watched. Every time. So I created a song called Whistle. We did it for the club. The crazy thing about that song is that song got licensed in my licensing deal. They played it on Keeping Up with the Kardashians in
Oh,
one of
I
their episodes.
remember that. I remember that.
This is what did it for the record. Khloe Kardashian, and I don't know Khloe Kardashian, but she took a clip of the show. Something was going on at one of her parties or something like that in the show. She took a clip just to put on her Instagram. My song happened to be playing in the back because I had that licensing deal. That's like look at God. You know what I'm saying? So she put it on there. Sacramento, all my Sac people, I love y'all. Cause as soon as some people heard that, they said, "Oh, wait, that's Diz." Everyone started tagging me on Instagram. My Instagram went crazy. That night, because everyone in the comments was like, what artist is this? Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? Everybody, all my Sac Town people was like, "Oh, that's Young Dizzy. He from Sac. He from Sac." You know, everybody repping.
Support your man.
The song gets crazy downloads overnight. We took that one to the radio too. That one started taking off on radio too. And then from there, other records just started taking off on radio. And it's thanks to J Mars, Toast, the Shorties. You know, really, it's when I think of Cali, I got my bro CLK over here. He was always on the road with me, road managing. Everybody, yourself, everybody, the whole city. It's a success story for the whole city because everybody had pieces in my story. And that's what, it's like all that energy, when you put it together, it started to make something and it started to happen. But to answer, not to go too far off, to answer your question, after my last record, TGIF, I made that record in the studio and something felt different. It felt different inside. And I had been feeling it, like I was saying previously, where I didn't know how I was feeling. And I had lost sight of things. Because this industry is crazy. I done seen some crazy things. I done heard some crazy things. And I realized I got another label situation, one of the biggest label situations actually offered to me at that time. And I didn't want to do it. I said no. And some people said I was crazy. People didn't understand. You got your song on the radio, you got this going, you got this, you got this. And I realized when I looked in the mirror, I didn't recognize the person I was anymore. And I said to myself, I said, if I sign this deal, this person I see is who I'm gonna have to be for the next 10 or 15 years. And I look at the money and I said, you know, the money ain't even worth my soul at this point. Like, they can keep that money. They can keep all that. Because I started thinking, what comes with this fame? A lot of people, they want to sign up for this fame and they want to do this, but they need to know what comes with this. And the person that they want you to be, this character that you've created, that they want you to be, and you have to live within that character that you've created. And I'm going to be honest, at one point, I didn't like the character I created. Because when I started going to these spots, I'm in the club every night, I'm drinking, I'm not taking care of myself. I'm up late at night every night. And I started feeling sick. Maybe not on the outside, but just on the inside, I started feeling sick. I just wasn't feeling right.
Okay.
And I knew I've always been a praying man, but I found myself praying less. I found myself so tired that I just fall out. I wasn't even praying before I go to bed. I found myself being torn away from my friends and being torn, and the people who were around me that I came up with, I was seeing them a lot less, and these new people is coming around me because the success is starting to happen.
Right.
And I realized, you know what? Y'all can have this. If this is what I got to do to be successful, because I knew at the time how to make a hit record. I know what people want to hear. I know how to flip it. I know the lingo. But I'm like, this ain't even helping my people, because I'm seeing what it's doing to them in the club and all the stuff that I'm putting out there and how it's turning around. And I said, I got to start holding myself accountable for the messages I'm putting out there, and as well as the energy I'm bestowing upon others. I got to hold myself accountable for that. And from there, I said, let me sit back and let me focus on myself. And I had to work on just getting my mind, body, and soul right. And I started reading books. I decided I needed to start being aware of what I was taking in, because then that would help me on what I was putting out. Because I was taking in trash at that time, so I was putting out trash.
Right.
And it didn't matter if it was successful or not. That part didn't matter to me, because I'm looking at the success that comes from it, and I'm just like, this ain't who I am. A lot of people know Young Dizzy, but they didn't know who Royce was. That's my name. That's who I am. When you say Royce, they like, who is that? They know this Young Dizzy brand, and I'm like, okay, it's time to cut my hair. It's time to do some things. It's time to change this whole thing up. I took a step back and I just took a leap of faith. I started working on myself. I got in the gym. I lost 50 pounds because I was drinking, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And I started trying to enlighten my mind, and I actually started seeing things. And I wanted to elevate, and my mind started to elevate, and the people that came around me, I lost some people, but the people that came around me, they had a different kind of glow. It was different for me, and I feel like I'm the best that I've ever felt in my life now. You know, now I'm actually finally living. I was dying slowly at that time, but everybody's rooting you on, you know, and that's why we see a lot of these rappers and artists and some of my brothers that I've known. I've seen them die in this game. I see them drinking themselves to death. They partying. There's all kinds of women. I mean, you got to think as an artist, we on stage, in the front of the stage, there's 40, 50 women screaming for you. From there, there's women screaming for you. As soon as you get in the car, there's women trying to get through the car door, trying to get to you. You get back to the hotel, a couple of them made it to the hotel, this, that, and the third. I'm just like, this ain't no lifestyle for nobody. As you get older, you start getting a little wiser, and you start looking at the decisions you make and how it can really, truly affect you.
Right.
So, from there, I decided, I did drop the project, which was one of my best pieces of work, I think, and I just threw it out there. I didn't even push it, but I put it out there, which was my last project, which was It's Diz. I dropped it was Young Dizzy It's Diz, and I dropped the Young, just letting the world know it's Diz. And this is, and if you listen to that project, I'm talking about the real, I'm talking about the people I done lost from at the beginning. I'm talking about how the internet is crazy, how all this BS get 1 million views, and then when somebody say something real, y'all ain't giving that no love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to think as a people, what are we doing? Why are we so entertained by garbage?
I don't get it.
Yeah,
I try to understand it, but I don't get it, because now we got kids wanting to be drug addicts.
We was just saying that. We was just talking about this.
We got kids who think they're a gangster
Mm-hmm.
when it's time to do some gangster stuff. Got the singing.
Exactly.
He stopped being a rapper and he started being a singer.
Exactly.
Went and sat down and he sung on everybody. Now all of a sudden he out, and what's crazy is he's still getting views.
That shows where people at.
Now I remember back in the day, if you went in and you snitched,
It's over for you.
you couldn't go outside and play no more.
It's
It was
over.
done for you.
Exactly.
It was a matter of time for somebody to get on you. This motherfucker gets out and drops a video and it gets some odd million views. He got
Exactly.
security around him all kind of. I'm like, there's no way he shouldn't even be breathing right now. But it's the day and age we in.
Exactly.
So we didn't have double cam. We didn't met your answer to some
Exactly.
prayers.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't have major artists do
Mhm.
features,
Mm-hmm.
and we got to the point where all money wasn't good money.
Exactly.
It wasn't worth your soul.
Exactly.
You fall off the planet, go to Jupiter or something.
You know what's crazy about this? I went offline. Most people would never even do this. I went offline for over a year. I'm talking about everything, social media, everything. It didn't matter how many followers and this, that, and the third. That didn't matter. I went off. I didn't even have the app on my phone, nothing. I focused on my mind, body, and soul. I really was doing that. I'm meditating. I was asking myself, I used to eat junk food all the time. We're not supposed to be able to eat like that. Our bodies are not supposed to be able to take all that garbage in. It should make us sick, but we've built up a tolerance for that trash. Now, if I eat any fast food, it makes me sick. My body doesn't react. It doesn't react good to that, and that's how it's supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? So I just had to really just cleanse everything. I didn't want to take in other people's thoughts when you go on Facebook and Instagram and things like that. I mean, I love all those platforms, but you have to be aware that you're taking in all these different feelings that everybody else is putting out there, and it does mess with you.
Right.
So it's like I had to be mentally strong and get myself to a place to where I was ready to take on all this. And if I lost fame or whatever, fortune or whatever, it don't matter. The people that it mattered to, I was rich to them
Okay.
because my mind was right, my soul was right. And I was getting and your body, that falls along with all that. You know, it comes along with all that. And now, during that time, I did a lot of writing, and I got back to writing my poetry, and that's what I originally started from when I was a kid.
Now, seeing how we went that route. So
Exactly.
you came off of being in outer space,
Mm-hmm.
becoming one with your chi.
Mm-hmm.
Your yin and yang is lined the fuck up.
Right.
You got 7 planets in a row.
Right.
You come out with a book.
I did. Yes, my soul. And that book, I wanted to.
Now, see, today I didn't get my signed copy.
I know. I got you. Look now, for this.
Stop
This
playing
COVID
with
got
me,
us. This
y'all.
COVID got us all backed up and
Now,
everything.
now
like
it's
that.
COVID's fault. He didn't bring my signed copy.
I know. I got you. I
COVID did
promise you, I
that.
got you. But I did. Yes, I did do the book. It was a book of poetry, and it was me releasing all of my feelings and all of my demons and diving into who I am and the things that has made me in front of the world to see, in hopes that this triggers them to start thinking about some of the things and cleansing themselves and finding they true soul.
Okay,
And
so, what's the name of the book again?
my soul.
My Soul. Where can they go get this?
You can go on Amazon, go anywhere on Amazon. You get the ebook right now. Trust me, the hard copies are coming for
Everybody who's on restriction right now, you know you on Amazon. Go get the book. How much is it on Amazon?
It is what, $3.90, $2.99.
If you ain't got $3,
$3.
stop playing. Support this man.
And the crazy thing is, if y'all watch me, I do the Flash Fridays where sometimes you guys can get the book for free. Just watch me on the Flash Fridays. I put it out on Flash Fridays where you guys can get the book for free. And
No
also,
excuse.
look online. The unplugged version is there. I did an acoustic spoken word project for some of the records. It's 10 actually of the poems from the book, and it's spoken word all over acoustic guitar. So it's a vibe. It's crazy. It's crazy.
We stuck on can't do no damn events.
Yeah. So now you see how that, this COVID came, but I still wanted to give people a vibe, and I wanted people to think and dive into themselves. And I shot a few videos for that. That's what's crazy. I shot
You've
a few
been doing
videos.
shit on the under.
Yeah, I shot a few videos for that. In those videos, I said, okay, I've been working out a little bit. Let me take my shirt off and get my D'Angelo on.
If you've
Yeah.
seen this in social media now, Royston did a couple push-ups. He eat a few salads. This is the first time I've seen a man wear a shirt in months. I swear to God. Like Dizzy, young Dizzy, who is now just Diz, is sexy ass Royce right now on the social media. Ladies, go check him out. No homo. The boy got his shit right. I'm following him. I'm trying to get rid of my apartment complex right now. But yeah, Diz, you put in work, bro, because I didn't see you where you was the little fluffy artist.
Oh yeah, you know what? It's crazy because I started out as a young Dizzy, was real small, and then at some point, I don't know, I got to full course Dizzy. I was
Henny and fast food.
Exactly.
We'll do that to a player.
And
But ladies, I'm telling you, underneath this shirt, you would be impressed. No homo. But what it is. Get this man his flowers while he's here today. Boy, you did that shit. You got me
appreciate
like,
it.
nah, Diz, I ain't gonna have you outdo me, bro. Come see me in a month, player.
I already know. I'm already knowing you want it. And
Come
you know what?
see me in a month. It's gonna be a wrap.
Everybody else, my goal now, through my success and the things that I've done, that's cool. That's cool. But I want to inspire others. That's my whole focus. When it comes to money and all that, I'm good. God got me on that. I'm straight. You know what I mean? I'm good. But I want to inspire others, and I want to be able to put a message out there that change someone else's life or sparks a thought in their mind to do something that's gonna change the next person's life. But we keep this going and keep putting out positive energy and making some things happen. And just being aware of what we're doing, especially right now in today's day and age, we need that.
Yeah, we
We
definitely
need
need that. Because I was in a dark ass place for a while. It was hard for me to climb out that hole, but
You
I
did
made it. I did it. I'm still fighting what I gotta fight, but you know, credit is due. Like, get your flowers while you here, bro. Like you've really been working. You have really like come full circle from being the mixtape that went double can. I swear to God.
Double can.
I'm so keeping that. To now, an author.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
wrote your own book of poetry.
Yeah.
Now, here's where the pitch throws a curve. Let's do a versus.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Okay. I get a phone call from Kid, oliveoakmagazine.com. Make sure y'all check it out, oliveoakmag.com. Hey, bro, Dizzy hit me. No, you hit me.
Hmm.
And I guess right after you hit me, you hit Kid.
Exactly.
And Kid got on his motorcycle and blasted off before I could do it. So now we got this versus where we actually challenging Bueno,
Mhm.
like we seen on the social media grams in the verses,
Mhm.
hit for hit.
Right. Right.
First of all, what made you want to do that? Second,
Mhm.
why Bueno?
Mhm.
Third, boy, that shit is genius.
Well, you know,
Because nobody else in SEC has even thought about doing that.
no, you know, at this time, I look at this. During my time period, I've had a lot of success. Like I said, all of you, everybody around me has been part of my success. And I wanted to give something back to the city and try to develop a platform to where, especially during this quarantine,
Mhm.
we could do something and we could still entertain people, because this is what we all about. We entertain. You've been in entertainment forever. I've looked up to you coming up. You gotta understand, I was young watching what you was doing.
Watch out now. Give my flowers right
Exactly. You know, and I just wanted, now that I'm starting to become the big homie to people, I
Mhm.
want to be that guy that's opening up this platform for other people. I'm falling back on the author tip, and I still want to continue writing books and shooting videos and doing that kind of thing. But at the same time, if I make a record here or two, that's cool. But I want to get a platform for these kids and show these kids how to properly do something and do it with quality and do something correct. So I did come up with the idea of this versus battle because I saw what was going on, and I was like, why can't Sacramento have something like that? We got stars out here. We got
Mhm.
hits. So
Straight up.
I thought to myself, I said, okay, I know what songs I want to do. And I was trying to think of an artist that would kind of coincide with what I did. And I hate that they call it a versus battle, because really, it isn't me versus Bueno. It isn't Young Dizzy versus Bueno.
Nope.
If y'all really want to know what it is, it's Sac versus everybody.
Off the rip.
That's what it is. But we had to do it, Young Dizzy versus Bueno. But I thought about it, and Bueno has been another artist out here who's putting those bricks in the street for us to
Mhm.
walk on. He's put so many bricks down in that roadway for us. And I felt with the hits and his success that he's had, and I done seen Big Bruh do a lot of things. I said, okay, I've had my success, and we have such a different fan base, you know, but we both had our success in different areas. I wanted to bring that together and bring those different fan bases together and get us all intertwined in the same thing.
Right.
So-
And that's true. Like,
So,
both of y'all done got smacks. Bro, like, it's undeniable. But the verses, it couldn't have come at a better time.
we need
You
it.
with the
We
book,
need it. We need it.
him with the movie.
Exactly.
Like, it's a no-brainer. When I saw them, like, these genius, look at this boy go.
And I thought to myself, I was looking at it and I said, you know, I want to know who wants to do it next. Let's get the next artist to do it next week. And then
I've
finally
been
we can
seeing
keep this
people.
going and keep putting it out there and developing our own content for our own city to see.
Right, right.
You know, we have the stars out here.
We
So
really
it's
do.
time for us to do that.
Northern Cali, you better understand, because we got real superstars. We finally had an artist
Mhm.
make it big, He moved up out of the city like he was supposed to, but it really put a shine on Sacramento because we got real talent.
This is the star of the West.
We-
They
we-
better put some respect on
Yeah,
that. It's the capital.
We done lost some cats in this game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, God has got him now.
Rest in peace to King.
A lot of
Rest in peace to God.
lost my brother out of this.
Mhm.
We lost Lil Bruh over some silly shit. You know, we need to get out these politics. But for you to do this, and like I said, I've been getting a lot of hits talking about when's the next one, because originally we were gonna hold it here.
Right.
But then y'all came up and was like, you know what? It's not comfortable enough. It's not personal.
Right.
The way y'all got Olive Oak Magazine office right now had me like, okay, I gotta redo some shit to my office.
Yeah.
Y'all
yeah,
got
it's
that.
Crazy.
Y'all got that office sexy as hell.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, like for y'all tomorrow who gonna tune in to the verse.
Make sure you tune in tomorrow.
We got it. We got something real special for y'all. Again, I see the internet. I'm not one to go back and forth with people and this and that. For Bueno, there is no winner in this. The whole city winning. You know, we doing this. The whole city is winning by us doing this. Ain't no man bigger than the next man. We all making this happen, and we all trying to push that pavement, and we all trying to make something, or make an opportunity for the ones that come up under us. So, really, I hope all of you tune in. You know, y'all could be in your living rooms, in the car, wherever you at, just tune in. And you guys gonna hear a lot of hits. It's gonna be a fun time. We just gonna party.
Now, go ahead and tell the people what time and where they can actually catch the show.
So, you could catch the versus battle, Young Dizzy versus Bueno, on my Instagram, which is at YoungDizzy1, or on Bueno's Instagram at TheRealBueno. It goes down at 6 p.m. So be there. I know my people. Y'all be late. Do not
Well,
be
we
late.
ain't
I'm
never on
telling you.
time.
You know what? It started at 5:30.
Let
me tell y'all, I started
was on
5:30.
4:30.
Yeah, it really started 6, but I'm gonna tell y'all 5:30, so that when y'all come, y'all show up right around 6:15.
Mhm.
You know, talking about, did I miss the versus battle?
You already know.
You know, but it's going down at 6, and yeah, we gonna have a good time. And I thank everybody ahead of time who's tuning in, who's gonna participate, and just rep the city. And every artist out there who's doing it, hey, or wants to do it, hit me up, and we could do it with you. There's so many names that came to my mind. I was thinking the kings out here, because we all kings in the city. I'm thinking C+, that's one of the kings. I'm thinking Lace Leno, he one of the kings. I'm thinking Gatlin, he one of the kings. I'm thinking, I mean, the list goes on from everybody, you know. And I'm not. I just threw a couple names out there, so no disrespect to anybody else if I didn't say your name. But at the same time, these are names that just are being thrown at me. And let's do this. Let's keep this thing going, and let's do the next versus battle. And I'd love to see 2 female rappers for Sacramento do a versus battle. That'd be hard. That's what I would love to see. And it's not just specific to rap. I hate when people do that. I really want to do some versus battles in different genres, because that would be big. This would be big.
Never
for the
been
city.
done before.
Exactly. I'm always trying to remember. I said at the beginning of this, I came in this game, I wanted to get what I had to get, but really it's to make sure that my people is taken care of. I'm just trying to lead the people to something bigger.
Female versus. Whoa.
That'd be cold. That'd be cold.
We got some artists. We got some female. We got Young Bay.
See what I'm saying?
I just had the Legend Marvelous in here the other day.
Exactly. Ooh. I don't think nobody wanted with Marvelous.
You really don't.
Yeah. No.
You really don't. I got a
That
side.
catalog's
I got a
long.
side bet on that one.
Yeah.
But then going to different genres, we got the Yelly.
That's true.
She's a beast.
Yeah, that's true. That's
We
true.
had her in for an interview. We got there's so much talent in this city right now. It's ridiculous. And all we gotta do is support. It ain't that hard. You
know-
support everybody else that come here. Just do the same thing here.
Right.
Repost, like, tell a friend to tell a friend. You ain't gotta spend money all the time, but if you see them out getting off some shit, some shirts or something, understand that's how they paying for this great music. This shit ain't free. It ain't easy either. So show some support if the artist has got some talent. Now the artist should never ever stop shaking the salt on fries. Don't buy their shit. Let them die off. We need to cut the limb off. Let the maggots eat it off. It's good.
That's real.
If you got real talent, or you see a bill to them, support that person because,
I got a question for you.
I didn't
Let me
do it.
say
I
this.
wasn't there, and I will
You
deny
said-
it in court.
You said support, so everybody in SAC says this. So how do you feel about the city and their support? Do you feel like there's a lack of support in Sacramento?
Fuck yeah.
You do? Okay.
And I've felt that way since the beginning of time. I started out with AOL Records.
Mm-hmm.
That is with a known hip hop artist named C-Bone.
Ew, yes. Legend.
We were the original Death Row.
Mm-hmm.
Even with Bo, we didn't get the love from the city like we were supposed to. And I've dealt with artists from Bo to Marvelous
Mm-hmm.
to yourself
Mhm.
to Bueno
Mhm.
to Long Live the King, King Gahali,
Mm-hmm.
C Plus,
Mm-hmm.
Gatlin, Polo.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the mud, anybody in the Bay, the DBs, Sick Witted Records, all of their artists,
Mm-hmm.
11-5, Spice One.
Mm-hmm.
You go to other places, and people want to say, well, we're not like the city. We're not like New York. We're not like Atlanta. We're not like Texas. But in fact, we are.
Mm-hmm.
Because as much as we lack support here in Sacramento,
Mm-hmm.
they're lacking there also. But some artists have woken up and said, I'm going to fuck with you
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to fuck with me, and we're going to put the city on our back, and we're going to move.
Right.
Now, Sacramento has always been too cool for school. And I never knew exactly why, but even with shows, Sacramento won't buy tickets ahead of time. They want to wait until the day of the show,
To buy.
stand in a long ass line.
Facts.
The price of the tickets is doubled,
Facts.
but you look good standing in the line in your new outfit. And you could have looked good walking by the line with the ticket that you bought in advance for half off.
Right. That's funny.
Now, I've always thought that it's simply because as Sacramento participants, fans,
Mm-hmm.
citizens,
Mm-hmm.
I think because they can see you,
Mm-hmm.
I think they have there's a lot of cats who know Dizzy,
Mm-hmm.
who knew Royce before you put the name out.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
That's facts.
they could reach out and touch you,
Right.
and get at you. So
Right.
it wasn't special to see Dizzy
Exactly.
go to the mall or
Exactly.
see Doey, go to the hat store and buy a new hat or
Right.
So the attraction wasn't there. But when somebody from out of bounds come into town,
They all on.
oh, they own them.
Yeah.
Because I can't reach out and touch this person all the time. We need to flip that. Because Detroit is real big for that.
They really are. That's
You
facts.
can't go in Detroit and rock unless you pay homage.
That's real.
He ain't having it. Detroit is not having it.
Yeah, you're right about that.
You go down to Texas, you gotta go pay homage to the certain cats in Texas
That's facts.
because they ain't having it. You ain't gonna come in and just bully them out the way. You got to put a couple cats on the show
Facts.
before you even do your show.
Yeah.
Same thing down in ATL. Same thing in New York. Once Sacramento gets to the point where they say we're worthy of the fame we're getting,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of artists who come from out of bounds, they know that Sacramento is a buying market.
Right.
We will buy the shit out of product if it's somebody else's. Now, we would just turn that around, buy our own product from our own mud, and then when these other artists come in, you got to come pay homage.
Mm-hmm.
So now, when you come into town and do your show, you have a set amount of artists that you must choose from to be on your show, or don't do your show here.
Okay. That's what you're saying. That makes sense.
We have to control our market. And right now, we letting, I won't say the enemy, but we letting cats who love our city,
Mm-hmm.
who love the support that our city gives,
Mm-hmm.
who definitely loves the dollars that from our
Yeah.
city,
They come.
they come and do whatever. It's good. Let's go and get this money, rape Sacramento, and we out. No, It's good. Let's go to Sacramento. Who do we need to talk to?
That's
And we
not
need to talk
supposed
to
to be.
this person. Okay,
Right.
well, I want to do a show in your city. This is what I'm bringing. Okay, well, cool. You can do your show in your city, but we need 3 SAC artists on your show.
I agree with that. Yeah. I agree with
Period.
that. I agree with that.
You have to use our DJs. You're using our venues.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go to the stations that support us as independent artists and do interviews and the drops and the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end of it, we want 3 of our artists on your show. Or take your ass to Frisco. Go do town business. Ride down to San Diego. Because this is no longer a feed everybody else market. Because we feeding everybody else off of our plate,
That's real.
and we getting the scraps of being
Yeah,
sent down to the
makes
corners.
I agree with that. I do. You know, it's like it's a hard thing for me because I feel like SAC does support. I just feel like they don't know what to do after that. In some ways when they support, they find a way to support. They don't know how to take it to the next level. The artists have figured out how to give it the next thing.
I can't agree with that.
You can't.
Because if we support the artists that's out of town, we know that we gotta like everything they post on social media.
That's what you said.
We know that if we're reading social media and we liking everything and they post that they got a CD coming out or an album coming out or an EP coming out,
Mhm.
or we want to know when we gonna download it. Is it link in the bio? Everybody hitting the link.
Mhm.
So now this artist has got all these downloads, and now, okay, well, we see on the download that Sacramento's one of the main places we getting beat up on the gram. Let's go do a show.
But
We
see,
call
let
it
me
Ace
ask you
of
this.
Spades. We're gonna go and do the show,
That's
and
true.
everybody who didn't download it gonna pay the $50 to $75 to come see him rock, buy a T-shirt, fight to get a picture with this motherfucker.
That's true. That's true. But do you feel like that happens because their city has shown Sacramento and other cities how to support their artists? Like, so in the Bay supports their artists so much that every city around knows where to fall in because you already see the support going. It's almost like this on Instagram. People ain't paying attention to nothing till they get like 500 likes. Then from there they're like, okay, well he already got a little juice, so I'm gonna like it now, and I'm gonna like it. But the Bay, they support their people so hard till they out the mud that the rest of the world starts falling in line. I feel like SAC, they start supporting people a little bit, but they don't know how to push it all the way over the top so that and stay on that person bumper so that the rest of the world can see it and then they fall in line. I think SAC, because we haven't seen it enough. I think it's just because these other cities have seen it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I think we just haven't had enough artists that have went through that cycle so that they know that if we do A, B, C, and D, then we're going to get to this, you know?
It's 2 parts to that.
Okay.
We get an artist that has got a cool vibe,
Mm-hmm.
and you say maybe Sacramento don't know how to support.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 parts. One, that means the artist isn't putting enough work.
Okay.
If you have a cool song,
Mm-hmm.
you need to be on all your social media,
Right.
pumping.
It's true.
Because social media and the internet isn't the cure for cancer. Get out and meet your following.
Facts. Yeah.
Go to where these other shows are.
Facts.
Let people know who you are. Hey, this is who I am. You can download my song. Here, let me get your information. Little shorty, come here, baby girl. Let's take this little photo. Because
Mhm.
you're getting a little buzz because everybody, you've seen the likes on your gram, so your song's going to be liked.
Right.
So if the artist is doing the work he's supposed to be doing,
Mm-hmm.
then the following is going to be able to do what they need to do. So it's nothing that you can teach. It's one or 2 ways. Either the following is going to push you because all you need is somebody to like and repost your shit.
Okay.
As an artist, you need to put it out and you need to interact with the people who's liking it.
Right. That's facts.
It's 2 parts.
I get what you're saying.
Now either artists need to get on their grind
Mm-hmm.
or the following needs to realize ain't nobody giving us anything.
Word.
Sacramento, we got to do it ourselves. And if we're not going to do it ourselves, quit fucking complaining that there's no following, that we don't get the quality. Because I'm tired of hearing it. Just like with radio.
But see, and I agree with all that. But I hear a lot of artists just being in it. Artists complain about support, but I'm gonna say this, and some of them, it may not be a popular opinion. I think there is a lot of support, but people don't use all their resources.
They
Look
don't.
at you. Look right here. This is support right here.
I'm just saying it.
Think about think about Tosh and all the things he done. I didn't say Jay Mars' name. I could talk to a lot of these rappers and singers out here. They don't know who that is.
Mm-mm.
They ain't doing their work. They're not doing their research. You know what I mean? The support is there. You got, if I say, I mean, when Mofo was here, when Shorty was here, when Freeze was here, Famous, all these different people. If I'm saying these names and someone live in this city and they call themselves doing music and they don't know who them people are,
What are you doing?
then they ain't doing their job. And then and a lot of times they say, well, the city ain't supporting me. I'm like, bruh, you don't even got a DJ pack. What they supposed to do with it?
Dude, you have no idea what it takes for me. You saw the emails I was sending you because I have so many people who do not understand. Send me MP3 format
Exactly.
only of a DJ pack. Bing! What is a DJ pack?
See, that's what I'm saying. And I see, that's why I say I think that there is somewhat of a lack of support, but for me, I feel like SAC supported me a lot. I would never say that I felt, because I've had someone such as yourself, I've had Toast, I've had so many people support me, and I was already there. And I feel like I kind of just walked away from some things, but I'll never look back and say, oh, the city didn't really support me, because I really did feel the love from people, and I really did. I mean, when we were just talking about Al opened up his club and brought his Lamborghini out to be in my
And
first
paid me to be
video.
there.
Exactly. You see
And
what I'm
I
saying?
am not a cheap date.
You see what I'm saying? So I feel like the support is there, but I think the artists and some of these people aren't like. I just brought Cali on. After this interview, how many people is gonna hit him up? That's the question. They just
We
seen his
want to.
face. They seen what happened. Look, he didn't, from the songs I've done with the Yin Yang Twins, Corrupt, Young LA, and the list goes on. He's mixed everything. He's done everything. He's got the connections to everything. This is what I'm talking about. I'm trying to get the keys away so people can actually drive the vehicle. But Sacramento got to know. I've dropped so many names in this interview. They need to be doing their Googles, researching, find these people. They need to, like right now, everybody should be hitting your inbox because they should be trying to get down here to do this.
Bruh.
You see what I'm saying?
You have no idea, because there's only 2 radio stations in this city that's showing love
Thank
to
you.
the underground. And there's no hate between the 2 of us, because my little big sis McYee,
Love her.
who I taught the
Love
game,
you.
and she'll tell you, I taught her this shit. She over there beasting.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for
Yes.
her to run the show, because we got to come out the pocket. So when we get an artist that connects with us, hey, what's it take to do an interview? Well, we got to find a calendar space, and it's $50 for an interview.
They start tripping.
Oh, I do a promotion package.
They're tripping.
I used to charge anywhere from $3,500 to $5,000 for 4 weeks of promotion.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you know what, Sack? I know it's hard times. I know everybody ain't got it like the majors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you the same love that I give majors for that big dollar sign for $350. Now, per city,
Mm-hmm.
I promote here,
Mm-hmm.
I promote Vegas,
Oh, I know. You get
Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been getting picked up in Brazil.
Exactly.
I'm
Okay.
getting ready to start doing San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And for me to tell somebody $350 per city, they're like, oh, Shadow, man, can we work a deal? Motherfucker, that is the deal.
Exactly.
And get offended when I don't work a deal for them.
See what I'm saying though. So when the support is there, you're supporting. It's there. It's not the support. It's just things are not lining up. People are not in line. Like you got to make money to keep this going. You see what I'm
Yes,
saying?
Lord.
That's just
This
that's
shit is not free.
that's the facts of it. My guy here, my engineer. Look, there's so many times this man has looked out for me my whole entire career. When I didn't have nothing to pay him, he said, "Diz, come on in." Every time I had artists who needed something or people wanted the sound that I had going, I sent them to him. They paid him. Not once did I say, "Hey, bro, can I get a little bit of that?" No. You keep all that. You need to eat.
Right.
Everybody on my team, when I did shows, I got money. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Everybody, because we got this out the mud together.
Teamwork make the dream work.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's just how I move. My boy CLK, he been rocking with me since day one. The people that's around me, they've been rocking with me since day one. And that's how I am. I've had my brothers. We'll get into it. We might fight. We back on it, and we back in it again the next day. We still got to do this. But I think the support is there. I just think the people don't know how to keep their focus right, and they don't know how to bring it together.
Right.
That's
Okay.
all I'm saying when it comes to a lot of these. The city, I just think the city, we got to figure out how to get our vibration right. We're not vibrating right, and that's the problem. The Bay, they got that down. They got that wave moving perfect, and I feel like we almost there. But let's be honest, Sacramento's known really for gangster rap, and there's a lot of music that comes out of here. But the most when you look at rap, the most successful rap has usually been gangster rap. There's more than that in the city though.
Right.
So we need to learn how to get that wave going and encompass all different parts of that in there, and that's gonna make us move bigger. Because some people may not be into gangster rap. Maybe they like the commercial. Maybe they like the deep hip hop. You know, you never know. But if we get all that going and we just keep saying sack, 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 the rest of the world gonna be like, dang, sack guy, hitters over there.
Yep.
Not just like this. We just only people who in the hip hop. They over here just supporting this. Because I'm gonna tell you something. The very first time I seen an actual wave was for Dope. Everybody was there. That was a beautiful sight to see the whole city come out. His face is on the wall. That means we can do it. You know what I'm saying? Once we start vibrating together, it can happen. I'm looking at Doe, and I'm just like, I remember when back in the days when he would come to me and I'm doing shows, and he'd be like, look, brother, I like what you doing, Diz. Do this. Bring the mic closer. Do this. He would really take me under and do that.
That was bro.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's here, but it can't be when someone dies. It can't be when someone, you know, I love Mozzie, but they all behind Mozzie. He's left the city. He's doing big things, but now everybody loves it. And I'm like, but when he was in the mud, y'all wasn't repping him like that.
No, you
Don't
were not,
lie. Don't
son.
lie. Y'all don't need to lie. Y'all was not repping him. Y'all was not supporting him like that when he was in the mud trying to get it out the mud. Bruh had to get out the mud himself and start pushing that pavement. And then everybody
indeed.
now trying to act like they was always fans of Mozzie. I'd be like, stop it. Stop it. Like, bruh has crazy talent. He done put the work in. He done got it out the mud. But at the same time, that's someone that got it out the mud. And the city can't say they was all supporting him and rocking with him since day one.
No,
They
no.
lying if they say that. They lying. So that's why I say I do, and I don't want to contradict myself, but the support is here. We just have to start moving, and we got to catch the wave. Don't wait till somebody way out here, then you're going to act like you've been rocking with them. No, just let's just start riding that wave and keep pushing that when somebody's coming up from the ground level, and let's make that wave bigger, 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 so that the rest of the world see it and they all know how to jump in. And all the outlets, they need to be hitting you. They need to be hitting Yeet. All the names I said on here, they need to be hitting them.
Yep.
You know?
Well, you heard it here.
Yes, sir.
I tell you every time, all the time. Support your mud. It's real talent here in the city. There's real people here who's trying to show love for the city. We got everything that's in a major city here, from Atlanta to Vegas. We got here. We got magazines. We got internet platforms. We got radio stations. I got a music video show that's coming back. I do street promotions from here to the motherfucking East Coast. It's here. All we asking is for support, because I'm going to give you my best, because you're going to give me your best. Dizzy's doing his best, and he gave you jewels on how to be better. It's up to you to plug your nose and take the medication.
Facts.
Is what it is. So, with all this being said, Diz, I thank you for coming on the show.
Sir.
Thank you for giving me the story and the peek inside of Dizzy's career,
Sir.
because there's a lot of shit that I didn't know about. You sneaky. I'm going to get my book here pretty soon,
Yes, sir.
but
I'm bringing that to you.
please, could you let the people know if they want to get in contact with you, holler at you, let them know how to get a hold of you.
Everywhere online at Young Dizzy One. That's Twitter, that's Instagram, that's everything you can think of at Young Dizzy One. Tap in for the Versus battle that goes down tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Young Dizzy versus Bueno, or better yet, Sacktown versus everybody. So I want everyone to tap in. We're doing this for the culture, and you guys know who it is. Young Dizzy to My Soul. Oh, and real quick, make sure you download, go grab My Soul. That's my first book. Royce Portilla, My Soul. That's my real name, Royce Portilla, My Soul.
That you good.
Appreciate
Now,
you.
before we leave,
Mhm.
could you please give Cali your social media information so they can, some of these cats, because you got a computer and you bought a microphone, that don't really make you a producer. Follow somebody who's going to give you the right speech. Could you please give Cali's, so, Cali,
Cali,
can
yes.
you please
Yeah,
tell these
yeah.
people how to get a hold of you? So some of these cats who's trying to do this, get some shit done right. Because then you got Jay Intel who's doing it, you got Q Made the Beat.
Shout out to all those
Now,
my brothers.
you got Cali.
Yes, sir.
Cali, give it to him, bruh.
All right, so what I'm actually doing,
Uh-oh.
I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Erickson, ERICSON presents. And on this channel, I'm giving techniques. I'm showing people how to make vocals pop. I'm showing people how to make 808s pop. You know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to give back from all the things that I've learned just by doing songs with him. A lot of the things that I've learned was from doing songs with him and working with artists that I would call big and mainstream, because I always wanted anybody from SAC that I work with. A lot of people, if I work with them, talk to them, they'll tell you. I try to make sure that if somebody from SAC is coming to me and you play a Jay-Z record, you play a Snoop Dogg record, I don't care whose record you play. If you play their record next, it's gonna feel the same way, and it's gonna sound the same way, and it's gonna slap the same way.
Facts.
And that's I feel like we all have that ability and that talent in SAC. We just gotta package it together to make sure we compete. Because you don't want to be, oh, it's slapping, and then your song come on and then like the energy dies out. Like, nah, we don't want that. I want everybody in SAC to compete with the entire world, SAC versus everybody. So that's my YouTube channel. But if you want to holler at me on Instagram, it's just Erickson.presents on Instagram, and you can holler at me that way. And yeah, I'm always here to help. I mean, I'm trying to give back the knowledge that I've received. I'm just trying to give it back.
Okay, let me put it in perspective. You can get at him on the gram, but if you really want to know this shit, he's giving it to you free on YouTube. YouTube is paying your bill. Get on YouTube, figure out the videos, learn the techniques, learn how to be more quality. You don't understand? Get at him on the gram.
Mhm.
The man is telling you he's trying to help and reach out. Sacramento, artists, hip hop, R&B, gospel. Here it is.
I even got a country artist. Hey, I work with everybody.
Come on, y'all.
I will work with everybody.
This is what we doing here. This is Hype Radio, and I'm bringing it to you every goddamn time this way. All you gotta do is just show support. Rock with me.
Yeah.
That's all we saying. But, Diz, good luck in your versus battle.
Appreciate it.
You going against Mr. Bueno. He's been doing it for a minute. You've been doing it for a minute. Trust and believe. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be supporting. And understand, Sacramento, this is not a him versus him. This is us showing the world you might want to rethink about Northern Cali.
Exactly.
Because we got real dragons that got nothing but fire coming out their throat. From hip-hop, to R&B, to jazz, gospel. Cali say he got country, and I know a lot of country cats up here. Country music is big here. Like, this is what it is. We're giving it to you on a silver platter. That's what it is. But I'd like to thank everybody from everywhere. Up north, down south, back east, all the way down to Brazil. I'm still in contact with Brazil. It's so crazy to be able to talk to Brazil. Carnival 2021, I'm coming. I am your man Shadow. This is hype-radio.com. You have been listening to me on the Spotlight with Young Diz. I thank you everybody for tuning in. Nothing but love to you. Talk to y'all later.
Peace.